10 rumored WrestleMania 35 main events that might take place. Number 10. AJ Styles vs Daniel Bryan. WWE pushed the idea hard that AJ Styles' WrestleMania 34 match against Shinsuke Nakamura was a dream match. And while it was, the match itself didn't quite deliver to match the level of hype that surrounded it. While that was a slight letdown, a match between Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles would certainly not fall short of the mark, especially if they were given the chance to close the show. Putting two of the greatest in-ring talents, both of which are incredibly popular against each other, on the biggest show of the year just screams money. But then knowing WWE and the way the company books things, this may very well just be hopeful thinking. Number 9. Seth Rollins vs Roman Reigns vs Dean Ambrose. WWE has done this before with the Shield triple threat, but that doesn't mean it can't happen again, because the position that all three could be in for the big show might be the strongest they've ever been. With Roman Reigns surely picking up the Universal Championship at some point in the near future, Seth Rollins back at his very best in the ring, and Dean Ambrose returning from injury, all three should be back to top form as single stars. Number 8. Sasha Banks vs Bayley. They have main evented TakeOver with potentially the greatest women's match in history, and there's no reason why they couldn't do it again, especially on the grandest stage of them all. Both Sasha Banks and Bayley have played crucial roles in the women's evolution, and a slow burn on the storyline to finish with the main event at WrestleMania. With Banks in her heel boss character and Bayley at her true babyface best, the match has huge potential. Number 7. John Cena vs Roman Reigns. It might not be the match that fans want on paper. In fact, it might be the very last thing that die-hard fans want to see. But in the eyes of WWE, having two of the biggest company stars going one-on-one at WrestleMania in the main event is something they would certainly be happy with. Cena and Reigns are two bona fide main event stars, and there can be no argument that they are certainly big enough names to be in that match. But it might be one that fans would totally go against, potentially even hijacking it. Number 6. AJ Styles vs The Miz. Admittedly, this is one match that WWE is unlikely to put in the main event, but if they had the guts to do it, then it would be fantastic. One of WWE's top babyfaces, who the fans love, against possibly the best heel in the entire company, seems like a WrestleMania main event worthy setting. While Styles might not hold on to the WWE Championship for the entire year to next WrestleMania, giving him the belt back for that time of year is a wise move because of how talented he is. And if they want a fantastic feud for him heading to Mania season, there are few better than Miz. The promos that Miz could drop during the build would be fantastic, and if anyone can get you hyped for a wrestling match, then it's him. Even though he isn't the most technical worker, there's no doubt they could entertain the crowd and live up to the pressure of being in the main event, something that both men deserve. Number 5. Brock Lesnar vs Bobby Lashley. A lot of this would depend on how well WWE books Bobby Lashley between now and WrestleMania, because right now, he certainly isn't at that level, but the dream match against Brock Lesnar is something fans really want to see. If WWE can push him the way they did during Lashley's first run, then there's a chance that the WWE Universe could buy into him as a main event star once again, especially if his in-ring product delivered. We all know Lesnar is main event worthy, and the match between him and Lashley is something that fans have wanted for years. If WWE wants to keep the Beast as a top star, having him in the main event again would make sense. Number 4. Samoa Joe vs Daniel Bryan. SmackDown Live got the best of the superstar shakeup and currently has an unbelievable roster, with two of the highlights being Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan, the perfect face and a brilliant heel, both of which are great in the ring. If the Blue brand becomes the A show between now and WrestleMania, which with its roster certainly should, then the main event should take place from that brand, and these two men are going to play a key role in its success over the next year. Number 3. The Undertaker vs John Cena. Now you might be thinking we had this match at WrestleMania 33, and while we did, it certainly wasn't the dream match that people have been hoping to see for years between two WWE legends. Instead, it was a quick squash match that was more of a segment than a match, with John Cena being taught a lesson which could easily be turned into an angle, with Cena wanting revenge and wanting a real competitive match. With the right build and some good promos from both men, interest could easily be built. Make it a career versus career match and potentially have it to be the Undertaker's retirement, and you have a guaranteed main event. Number 2. Roman Reigns vs Braun Strowman. Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania, that would be new and refreshing, wouldn't it? Of course not. But if WWE were to give anyone a 5th WrestleMania main event in a row, it's Roman Reigns. The company is still yet to pull the trigger on him with the Universal Championship run we are all expecting to see, but that will happen before Mania, and there's a strong possibility he could walk in as WWE Champion. On the other hand, Braun Strowman is ready for the main event opportunity, and next WrestleMania could be the right time to give him that chance. Considering both men will be around the title picture for the next year, seeing them collide in a title match is a very real possibility. Number 1. Charlotte Flair vs Ronda Rousey. A women's match main eventing WrestleMania 35 is certainly very likely, and if it does happen, using the star power of Ronda Rousey would be a smart way for WWE to go, as she's guaranteed to draw a big crowd. Charlotte is the best women's wrestler on the planet, and if anybody deserves the main event of WrestleMania, then it's her. Considering she ended Asuka's undefeated streak, if WWE continues to book her strongly, then she'll be in a great position for the next year's show. Rousey had a brilliant showing on her debut, arguably stealing the entire show, and she is certainly a main event level talent based on her star power alone. WWE can easily keep her undefeated heading into WrestleMania for a huge collision with Charlotte for what should be a historic encounter.